Welcome back into Wake Up America. We've been talking about this and following it all morning long. The Pentagon right now tracking a suspected Chinese reconnaissance balloon flying over Malmstrom Air Force Base in the state of Montana. There is also one reportedly over Canadian airspace. And despite calls to shoot this balloon down over the last 24 hours, President Biden opting to leave it be and not risk what he calls human casualties on the ground in the state of Montana, one of the most rural states in the entire country. For more on all this, let's welcome in retired Air Force Brigadier General, Deputy Military Rep to NATO, and Newsmax contributor Blaine Holt. General, happy Friday. Good to see you. I want to show everybody at home just the video of what this thing looks like. When I saw this, when I first woke up, it looks like a UFO. Apparently, it's the size of 3 school buses. Take us through what we're looking at here. It's flying at around 70,000 feet and moving at very slow speeds.
Right. So what you're looking at is a reconnaissance balloon. It is a spy balloon meant to be able to travel massive distances and loiter so that it can take different types of imagery and gather and collect anything that it can. It can also do signals intelligence gathering, so monitoring radio waves, monitoring channels and stations. But none of that's really nearly as important as the fact that we allowed this thing into United States and Canadian airspace. So where's NORAD? Where's our sovereignty? Where's all these other things that come into play? Because Americans are not paying $1 trillion a year for this breach of our national security.
Okay, so Antony Blinken's supposed to go to Beijing in a matter of days. He's scheduled to meet with Xi Jinping. Why hasn't this been shot down? We know its flight path. Why not shoot it down when it's over a mountain?
You know, that's ridiculous. I could give you a very nice glide path for that balloon by just putting about 5 20-millimeter rounds into it and let it descend.
Right.
So there's not really going to be a real danger there. But I remember back to May 1987 when a guy named Matthias Rust was a young teenager who jumped into a Cessna 172 in Helsinki and flew all the way to Red Square and popped the bubble that the Red Army was some sort of monolith. And here we are this morning with the Chinese press goading us, saying that American air defense is merely a decoration. And that's what the Global Times, a Chinese front operation, is reporting this morning. And Gorbachev fired hundreds of officers when that event happened.
Meanwhile,
what will happen on our side? Will we finally start to see accountability?
Great point. And every second we let this thing stay in the air, it's flying over right now Malmstrom Air Force Base, but nuclear weapons sites, sites where we have intercontinental ballistic missiles, and it's just, taking photographs, doing whatever it's doing. Congressman Michael Waltz of Florida said yesterday, this is what happens when you have a weak leader in the White House. To me, this is all connected. China saber rattling when it comes to Taiwan, Russia invading Ukraine almost a year ago to the day. This all after our botched withdrawal from Afghanistan in August 2021. Kevin McCarthy tweeted out yesterday, China's brazen disregard for U.S. sovereignty is a destabilizing action that must be addressed, and President Biden cannot be silent. What do we do about this?
So we shoot it down. Shoot down the second one, too. The Canadians are leaving that one up. Reestablish our sovereignty now, even if we've been humiliated. And then please, 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 we've been saying it since Kabul, let's get this national security team up on the Hill to explain their actions and consummate failures in weakening us here and abroad. Don't forget the southern border as well, because that's on their tab also.
Okay, just quickly, Antony Blinken still scheduled to go to China. What does that visit look like now?
It should be a non-visit. It should be we're not coming. We're not going to talk to you. This is not what nations who are trying to engage diplomatically do. So we'll take care of your balloons first, and then we'll start to reevaluate what the Chinese relationship is. We keep living in this dream of the Chinese relationship we would love to see, not the one that we have, because the Chinese are extremely clear about what their attitudes and intentions are with us.
Yeah, and I wish it weren't the case, but it always boils down to Joe Biden and China. For whatever reason, it's always Joe Biden and China. General, I want to talk about the war in Ukraine. According to the BBC and multiple sites now reporting this, Vladimir Putin wants to get the world's attention on February the 24th, the first anniversary of the war, with a big act, according to the Kremlin. That's a chilling warning. What does that mean?
It's a warning I would take very seriously. The Russians are starting to see a weakening on the Ukrainian side. They are advancing in the country. The internal strife in the Zelensky administration now is starting to show. And Russia on the year, instead of trying, he's got a big propaganda effort ahead of him because he's got to prove to the Russian people this is the good war, and the Russians aren't spectacularly pleased with this thing either. So I would be very concerned about what Russia has planned on the 24th.
General, just on the Biden documents, for 3 months, the public still kept in the dark about what was actually in these documents. We know that at least some of the classified documents that were found were related to Ukraine. Now, they could have been, just documents with classified markings that had trip schedules and things that are not important. They could have been intel reports when it comes to Ukraine as well. How concerned are you about the latter?
I'm very concerned. We've got to get to the bottom of this right now. And you're watching Chinese spy balloons flying over American airspace. That's really all you need to know. And then there's some sort of lunacy in a decision that says, let's not shoot down the balloon. It could hurt somebody.
General, we're out of time, and I just want to ask you this. Mark Halperin was on with us earlier, and he said there are Chinese spies in the United States right now, and we're not concerned about that. And I'm thinking to myself, the average American, myself included, is not concerned about covert operations, Chinese spies here or our spies there. This, to me, is really provocative. When was the last time something like this happened?
It hasn't happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
General Holt, we'll keep a close eye on it. We appreciate your expertise, as always. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too. Take care.
All right.